everyone, this is Bremster, and tonight I'm coming to you with a puzzle that I just created today. So I woke up this morning with an idea for a chaos construction puzzle because I've never been very good at chaos construction puzzles, and I wanted to come up with an idea for something. I had an idea for something that I thought might work for an introductory chaos construction puzzle. So I put this together with the help of Xeon Risk. Thank you very much, Xeon, for your help with this one, who offered some very, very important advice for how this would work. And I played around with it for a bit and made it, I believe, work, and we tested it and it all flowed. And I decided, yeah, I was going to release it, and I put it up on CTC testing, and I got almost immediate feedback, very, very positive feedback, including some stuff that I was not expecting. So it made me re-look at the puzzle in a very, very different light, and I'm even happier with it than I thought I would be. So this is Rainbow Springs, a new puzzle by me doing something that I never thought I would do, a chaos construction puzzle. So this is going to get posted to my Bremster Unpublished Puzzle video playlist, so that people can see puzzles, me record videos of my own puzzles. This may make it to my main channel because I'm really happy with this one, so it's likely you will see this on my main channel sooner rather than later. And I've already published this puzzle to Logic Masters Germany and to the CTC Discord archive, and I'll provide details to that below. So yeah, let's go into what is a chaos construction puzzle and why this one, I'll talk a bit about when I'm solving it, why this one is a bit different, because I don't want to spoil it for people who want to try it. What is a chaos construction puzzle? So a chaos construction puzzle is a normal Sudoku puzzle where the regions are not provided and they must be discovered by the solver. Now, I wanted to make this an approachable, as I said, puzzle. So something for people who've never done chaos construction before, because I'm bad at them and I always struggle at them. So I wanted to do something that I would enjoy solving. So how does this work? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every row and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. The numbers 1 to 9 must also be placed in every region, but we don't know where the regions are. So regions are to be determined by the solver, but each region will be a set of 9 orthogonally connected cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 orthogonally connected cells. So that might be a region. They just must be orthogonally connected. So you couldn't have a region that was sort of here. If I remove all of that, it couldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not orthogonally connected, and they can't be separated. So, and there will be 9 cell regions because there's 81 cells in the grid. That's just math. Now, this is a killer puzzle. So digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So these 3 cells will sum to 21. These 3 cells will sum to 8. Digits cannot repeat within cages. Now, the rule that makes this the chaos construction work is each cage must be fully contained within a single region. So you cannot have 2 regions in the same cage. So each cage must be fully contained within a single region. So that's how this puzzle works. I'm going to go over some of my ideas behind setting this, and also some of the stuff that other testers found that I didn't know. So please feel free to try this puzzle on the links below. Let's give this a shot. So my initial idea for this puzzle was that in this puzzle, because each cage must be fully contained within a region. If I was to put 9 cages into the grid that must contain the same digit, you would automatically know that those cages must be in separate regions. So, for example, this 6 cage must have a 1 in it. This 8 cage must have a 1 in it. This 8 cage must have a 1 in it. This 7 cage must have a 1 in it. This 8 cage must have a 1 in it. This 13 cage, a 4-cell 13 cage, must have a 1 in it. This 8 cage must have a 1 in it. This 12 cage, I'm actually going to change the color of that. That's a bad choice. This 12 cage must have a 1 in it. And this 7 cage must have a 1 in it. And all of those cages must have 1s in them. So, because they must be fully contained within a region, there is no way that those can be in the same region. Because if these were in the same region, I would have 2 1s in the same region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have my 9 different regions already started. Now, there's a little bit you can do with that. So because these are where the regions must start, you can use a little bit of what I call quad logic. So we know that there must be a 1 in here and a 1 in here. This must take a 1, there is a 1 in here. This means there's no 1 in here, so there's a 1 in here. There's no 1 here, there is a 1 in here. The 1 in here and the 1 in here means there's no 1 here, so there's a 1 in here, but the 1 down here means that there's no 1 there, so the 1 is in that pair. These mean that there is no 1 there, so the 1 is in one of those two. However, these ones mean that there is a 1 in one of those two, so there is no 1 there, and there is a 1 in the corner. This one sees that cell, that point, those points, and those points see all of those. I can put a 1 into that cell. And these ones are a lot less restricted. However, I can place 3 1s just by looking at the 1s at the very, very start, by knowing that those are the starts of the regions. Now, one of the discoveries, this was kind of something that I had in mind, of sort of the 1s bouncing off each other. I didn't realize the 1s were so immediately placeable when I started setting this. It was something I discovered while testing. What I didn't realize about this puzzle at all, but I got feedback from some of the testers, was you can solve this particular chaos construction puzzle. Maybe I made this a little bit easy, but as I said, I wanted this to be good for someone's first chaos construction. You can actually completely solve the grid ignoring the regions just by doing row and column Sudoku. That kind of blows my mind. And people may think that makes it a bad chaos construction puzzle. I don't think so. I think it makes it a very, very interesting, approachable puzzle, because I can't do that. I've tried and I cannot do that. I need to use the regions, not as much as other people may need to. But I probably could if I focused on it. But the regions are there to help, and that's the point. I suppose if you're a much better, if you really, really focus on it, you could do it. But using the two things in together, I think will make this a much more interesting puzzle. So what can we do now? Well, we know that 6 is going to be 1, 2, 3. We know 7 is going to be 1, 2, 4. We know that 7 is going to be 1, 2, 4, and there's not going to be a 1 here. Now, what else can we tell right away? Now, the interesting thing that I like about this is 30 is, actually, I'll do this first. 6, 7, 8, 9 go in here. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 24 is 7, 8, 9. So we know these are different regions. They can't be the same because, and we can possibly, because if these were the same, they'd have to be part of the same region, and we'd have 7, 8, 9 clashes all over the place. So I'm going to start drawing some boundaries in. Those must be a boundary, of course. Those must be a boundary, of course. Those must be a boundary, of course. Those must be a boundary. Now, what do we have now? So the thing that I really wanted, and the thing that made me quite happy was, sorry, I've just set this puzzle, so these are all ideas that I played with. This 8 cage. An 8 cage must be either 1, 7, so it can't connect to this. If it was 1, 7, 2, 6, there's already a 2 here, or 3, 5. So whichever option that this 8 cage was, if it was connected to a 6 cage, it would be broken. So you just can't connect have an 8 cage and a 6 cage in the same region. So I immediately can draw a border in there. That cannot be part of the same thing. So the 6 cage must do this. Now the 6 cage must get out. So this cell here becomes yellow, which allows me to expand my border. But the 6 cage, the yellow now must continue to get out. It can't stop there. So as soon as it enters the 30 cage, it must take the entire 30 cage, because every every cage is fully contained within a region. But now I've got 8 cells. So the only place I can grow is into that cell. Because if I was to take this cell, I must take all of those and I've got more than 9. If I take this cell, I grow into there and I've got more than 9. That's already grey. So this is the only place I can go. And now I've got my entire yellow region. And that is my first region discovered straight away by this 8 cage. Now I can do that trick again to a lesser degree. This 7 cage must have one, it can't have a 1 in it because all the 1s are placed. You can just ignore anything that's not coloured already right now, anything that doesn't have a 1 marked in it. And if I mark the 1 in there, I think that's the only one I hadn't marked, then now, then anything that doesn't have a 1 pencil marked in it can never take a 1. So this can either be 2, 5, can't connect to grey, or 3, 4, can't connect to grey. So I can actually draw a mark in here. But because this yellow is complete, this is the only way out for any of the cells up here. But if these were anything other than grey, say these were a different colour, first, purple, for example, if I was to run purple up into here, grey is locked out. So if purple comes in here, I can never complete grey. So this entire box immediately becomes grey. And because of this 8 cage over here, this becomes a complete region instantly. And now I can do some math. 7 plus 12 is 19, plus 18 is 37. That becomes an 8. I can't put 6 into a 12 cage, so the 6 goes in here, and that's as far as I get. So there's going to be 6 and the 2 digits that make up 12. 2 in here and 2 in here. Now, there is more Sudoku that you can do in this grid, quite a lot, and I just need to remember where to look. Now, this 8 cage is either 2, 6 or 3, 5. Now, 3, 9 or 5, 7. So, okay, so this must be 3, 9 or 5, 7. So I have a virtual 3, 5 pair here. So I can't put 3, 5 in here. This becomes 2, 6. Now, I can't put 2 in here. This is 2, 6. Not sure. Yeah, I've got to remember. I know I only set this today and I've tested it a couple of times, but I am bad at chaos construction puzzles. This is not news. Oh, these are a 4, 5 pair. That might matter, probably. So in this 7, I've got 2, 5 or 3, 4, and that gives me a virtual 4, 5 pair. So 5 comes out of here because I cannot put 4 or 5 anywhere down here. 5 is in one of those two. This now, if you look, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, and I've got a virtual 4, 5 pair. So this must be 2 or 3. So this must be the 4 or the 5 that goes into this 8 cage. Now, there's all sorts of Sudoku that you can do here, and I can't remember any of it. Good fun. Okay, so this is an 8, 9. So this is a 7. So this is not 7. So this is 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. There must be a 2 in here. And now there can't be a 2 in this cage at all because 2 is looking over from here and 2 is looking down from here. So this is 1, 3, 4, 5. I can't put 1 down here. 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. This has got to be 7 or 9, whatever is not in there. Because, yeah. Trying to remember and not doing it well. Some people would say I should practice more. I've heard that a lot. Well, I've said it to myself a lot. the interesting thing is I've found different things this time that I've solved the puzzle. So this is either... I have found very different things this time. This is not 7. There's no 7 in here. Four is in here, so there's no 4 here. One is in here. It's not 1, 7, it's 2, 6 or 3, 5. There was something clean. At this point. Now, this must have either 5 or 6 in it. So it can't come up here. And blue can't connect into it because it would be too many cells. And this must have... If this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this can't get down to it. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is either red or orange. Now, there's no 8 up here. So 8 is down here. Of course, I've forgotten my basics. There is a 7 in here. Now, this is not 4, 7. We know one of those contains a 1. And these must be different because if they were the same, if they were both 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4, you would have the same 3 digits in those. So these 8s must be different. So one of them is 1, 2, 5, one of them is 1, 3, 4. I've completely lost it. It's only been a few hours since I did this. There's no 8, 9 here. There must be a 6 in here. There's no 6 here, so there must be a 6 in here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 6. That's what I've missed. There had to be a 6 in here, so this is 2, 3, 6. There is no 6 here. This is 5. This is 4. There is no 5, 4 in here. This is 1, 3. 1, 3 looks up, meaning this is not 3, 9. This is 5, 7. This is 3, 6, 9. So once this is 3, 6, 9, I'm not sure what that does. But these 7s line up, taking 7 out of there. This is 6, 8, 9. 7 is now up here. Okay, that might do something else. 5, 7 looks down, making that 9. That's a start. These 7s are now lining up, taking 7 out of there. This is either 5, 7, 9 or 6, 7, 8. These can only be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because that's all you can put in an 8 cage. So this is 6, 7, and 8. There we go. This is 6, 7, 8. That's all that, because you cannot put a 6, 7, 8 or 9 in an 8 cage. These are 6, 7, 8. However, in this 8 cage, you cannot put an 8. So this is a 6 or a 7, which makes this a 1 or a 2, but there's already a 1 there. So this is a 2, this is a 6. 6 comes out of those. The 2 looks over, taking 2 out of those, puts 2 into there. This becomes a 1, 4, which takes the 1 out of there, puts the 1 into there. Okay, getting some traction now. Now, there's no 2 there, so there's no 5 there. The 2 doesn't really look down, but it does look across to there, making that 3 and that 2. Now you cannot put a 2 into this 8 cage. This must be 3, 4, and there's 4 looking over. So this is 3 and this is 4. This 3 looks over to here, so that can't be 3, so that can't be 4. The 4 looks over, so this is 5 and this is 2. There is now no 2 in any of those, but these had to be different. So one of them had to be 1, 2, 5, and one of them had to be 1, 3, 4. So there has to be a 2 in one of these cages somewhere, and we know that we can't put both ones that have to exist in cages here. So this becomes a 1, 2 pair. This becomes a 3, this becomes a 6, this becomes a 2. The 3 here means that this 8 cage needs another 4. The 4 looks down, making this 2. This becomes a 1, 4 pair. That looks up, meaning this is not a 4 or a 1. This is a 3, 5. The 1, 2 pair. This is not 2. I'm doing my scanning failing trick, but that's okay. Minimum you can put in here is a 5. So these are all 5 or higher. This is the only place you can put 3 in the column. Now, there is a lot of Sudoku tricks you can do on this puzzle. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't put 5 in those. The only thing that must be in here is a 7. Is there more I can remove? Well, this is 6, 7, 8, 9 now. So this is 5. This is not 5. Not 5. Oh, this is 7 and this is 5 because of this 5. So there's no 7 in there, but we know there is a 7 in the cage. So that becomes a 7, which means that's not the 7, that is the 7. So this is no longer 5, 9, so it is 6, 8. So the 9 comes out of here, this becomes 6, 8. 8 must be in here. This is 6, 8. So this is now known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 9. That's an 8 because of the 7. So this is 6. This is 8. The 6 looks up, meaning that is not 6 or 8, that is 9. This is 6, this is 8, because we know these are in the same region or killer cage or however you want to look at it. The 5 looks up, making that 4 and that 5. I could have used the 4 looking up to do the same thing. The 8 looks down, taking 8 out of both of those, but there has to be an 8 in the cage, so that becomes the 9, that becomes the 8. The 9 looks up, taking 9 out of there. There is more to do. The 8 looks over, making that a 7. There is a 7 in this cage with either 4, 9 or 5, 8. There's no 4 there, so there's no 9 there. 4, 9 or 5, 8. More to do, more to do. There is no 5 there, so it's still 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. These now can't be 2, 9, can't be 3, 8. So this must be 5, 6, which takes 5 out of there, makes that the 3 and takes 3 out of there. This becomes the 6, 9. There's no 5 here, so there is no 5 because of the 5 looking up. There is no 5 in this cage. This now must be 1, 3, 4. This is the 1. This is the 3, 4. This is the 2, and it's 1, 2, 5. That's the only place for the 5. That's the only place for the 1. And we're getting more traction. Now, the 1 looks up, making that 4 and that 1, which looks down, making that 3 and that 4. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 2 here resolves it. That's 7 and that's 2. There's no 7 here anymore. The 6 looks over, making that 5 and that 6. And I'm actually trying to do as much as I can without doing the chaos construction, because people told me I could. The 6 looks down, making that 2 and that 6. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, and the 3 here resolves it. 9 and 3, which makes this 8. 7 and 8 is 15, so that has to be a 5. This row now just needs a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And people may think this is not fun, but I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun too. If not, I'm sorry. This is a 9, so 9 comes out of here. This becomes 6, 7. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. This 4 resolves it. This becomes 8. This becomes 4. I'm now down to a pair here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. This is a 5, 9, and the order is known. This 19 cage just needs a 6 to complete it. This column needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which works by the 9 cage. 1 and 4, which is 3 and 1. The 6 makes that 7 and 6, and these are the last 2. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very hard to scan these. 1, 2, and that's a 3. And that, oh no, I've left these behind. So let's try, before I punch those in, and do the actual chaos construction, because I know how to resolve those. So how do we do that? And it is possible to use the regions that I haven't given you, we haven't found yet, to actually do a lot more of this puzzle. Now, I think the place to start is actually down here, because where can blue get an 8? It can't take that one, and the only other 8 it can really get to is here. So that's not it. So it has to take that 8, which means it takes that 8, 9, and 7. So it's now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells, and it needs a 2 and a 6. So it can't get that 6, it must take that 6. So that is what it must take. And that finishes the blue region. So this 9 is now pinned in. So this 9 must be part of purple. Now, now, what do we want to look at here? If this is orange now, what takes this? Because if purple takes this, it would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If orange is this, because orange couldn't take this, so this would all have to be purple. So if orange was to take this, this would all have to be purple because nothing else can get to it. And then purple couldn't get its ninth cell because it would have two twos. So this cannot be orange. This has to be red. And now red has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells. It needs a 3, but it's got a couple available. Okay, so now we've got to decide what's going to happen with orange and purple. Now, orange needs to get purple needs an 8 and it can't get it down here. So the only 8s it can get are over here. So purple has to come out this way. So purple has to take this 5, 2. Now once purple takes this 5, 2 to get to an 8, orange, it can't take this. So the only thing that can take this is orange. So this becomes orange. Now, purple needs to take an 8. If it was to take this, where is it getting its 6 from? Because it doesn't have one yet. So if it takes that, the only 6s left to it are if it over here, and that's blatantly stupid. It can't reach that far. So the only 8 it can take, because it needs a 6, 7 and an 8, it could take that 7 and that 8 and then it can't reach a 6. So the only way it can get 6, 7 and 8 is to take all of that, and that completes purple. Now, the only thing that can take these two cells, because red can't take a 2 or a 7, is orange. So these become orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Orange needs an 8 or a 9. It can't reach this 8 without going through a 3. So that's the 8 and the 9 that the orange can reach. So we complete the orange region. Now, red still has a couple of 3s available to it. So yeah, we've got to figure that one out. Purple down here. Now, purple needs to get to an 8 or a 9. Now, in order for it to get to this 9, it would need to also take a 6, so it can't do it. So the only 9 it can take is that one, which means it also gets its 8. Now it needs a 5 and a 4, but to get this 4, which is the only 4 it can that's available to it apart from this one, it would also have to take a 9 and a 6, and it's already got them. So it takes that 5 and a 4, and now the only 7 it can reach in a single digit, because that's all it's got left is that one, and purple is now fully defined. So now we've got, apart from red, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regions fully defined, and one of those 2 3s is going to be red. So now we've got to figure out blue and green. Now, if green was to come over here, how is that going? Well, green can't take that because green's got a 2 and that's got a 2 in it. So this must be blue because green can't take another 2. Similarly, blue has a 4 and this has a 4 in it. So this must be green. Okay, now green has a 5 in it. This has a 5 in it. That must be blue. Now, blue has a 7. That's a 7, so that must be green. Now, blue needs a 9. The only 9 that's left in the grid is that one, so that must be blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Blue is now complete. And now green needs to connect up, and it needs a 3 and an 8. And the only way you can connect up the 2 green regions is by taking those 2 cells, completing the green region, and then we now know which is the 3 that is left over for red. And now, in order to complete the grid, I will put in the 6 and I'll put in the 9, and that completes Rainbow Springs, the first chaos construction puzzle I've made, designed to be something that someone who has never done a chaos construction puzzle before can actually attempt and, I hope, complete. I've had a few people who have responded, even today when I released the puzzle only about 5 or 6 hours ago. I've had a few people who've said they've never done a chaos construction puzzle successfully before, but they looked at this one, thought it was doable, and actually completed it. So I'm very happy with the puzzle. Thanks again to Xeon Risk for helping me create this and giving me a lot of advice. And yeah, I really do hope you enjoy the puzzle. And thank you everyone for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving.